All right. Welcome, everyone, to our 7 o'clock regular meeting. It's a continuation of our special meeting, our budget workshop number 5 that started at 5:30. We adjourned that about 10 minutes ago. We will pick up that discussion later on in the regular meeting when we add an item D to the new business. So we almost finished with the budget piece, but we still got Parks and Rec to go. So I'm going to call the meeting to order. Welcome for those that are here and those that are live streamed tonight. Please stand for the invocation from Reverend Timothy Davis, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank and praise you again for another great day today, Lord. Thank you for leading and directing in all things that are done here this afternoon, Lord. We thank you for no dissension, Lord, no disagreement. It'll all be done in accordance and good manner and good common sense, Lord, working things out together as a unit. We thank you and praise you for touching each and every heart and soul that is here, Lord. The anointing power of God will lead and direct them in all decisions and things they do in their lives. In the name of Jesus, we do pray. Amen and amen.
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 I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you very much for those touching words. Approval of the agenda. Do we have an addition?
Yes, Mayor, I make a motion to add item D under new business, discussion of the FY 26-27 budget.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, motion approved. That's item D, discussion on FY 26-27 budget. Official comments, manager's report. Go ahead, Chancellor.
Thank you, Mayor. Fellow board members, I'd like to welcome everyone in the audience here at Town Hall and everyone viewing us through our live stream. Today's manager's report for the June 15th board meeting. First and foremost, I'd like to begin by taking a few moments to recognize the life and legacy of Cumberland County Schools Board Chairman Judy Musgrave. Chairwoman Musgrave dedicated countless years of service to the children, families, and educators of our community, and her commitment to public education and servant leadership has left a lasting impact throughout Cumberland County. On behalf of the town of Hope Mills, we extend our heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, colleagues, and everyone whose lives that she touched. As it relates to the manager's report in terms of the community corner, I'd like to thank Don for bringing our lung cancer screening event back to Hope Mills. It will be held Tuesday, August 18th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. It'll be here at Town Hall. The screening eligibility is between ages of 50 and 80. The Hope Mills Historic Commission is partnering with our Arts and Culture Committee to celebrate our 135th Hope Mills Charter Day. This year's celebration will be held on Saturday, July 4th from 12 to 2, and it will begin at the conclusion of our Independence Day Parade. So we're telling all of our citizens, when you come out to our 4th of July Parade, when the parade is over, head down to Hope Mills Lake. There'll be food trucks, music, and games for kids. Registration remains open for the Hope Mills Area Chamber of Commerce annual golf tournament scheduled for Friday, July 31st at Gates 4 Golf and Country Club. The Hope Mills Juneteenth Liberty and Legacy Celebration will be held this Saturday, June 20th, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at the Hive at Hope Mills. This celebration will feature the live entertainment, food trucks, local vendors, family activities, and much more. It's made possible through a partnership between the Hive at Hope Mills, Cumulus Music Group, WCCG, which is 104.5 FM, and will be hosted by Shadana the Mo You Know. June 6th, we held our third annual Gun Violence Awareness Walk facilitated by the Tau Epsilon Zeta chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. It was a very, very powerful event. The Hope Mills Police Department held their bike rodeo last week. That's definitely something that's always a positive event for our youth. They're also speaking with our youth. They have a great program that we've been highlighting. This is the third week of the Cop Out, Not Drop Out. If you've seen, it's about 17 kids that you'll see around the campus. And they're interacting with police, and it's a great program that helps to build meaningful relationships between our youth and our law enforcement officers. They also have installed, if you've seen on Legion Road, there's a new speed monitoring sign. It's basically there to control traffic, but it was purchased through a grant program at no cost to the taxpayers. As it relates to Parks and Rec, we do have a new program tied to wildlife. It's called the Black Bear Buddies. It will debut on Friday, July 10th, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rec Center, and it is targeting kids between the ages of 3 and 6. Registration remains open for our annual Independence Day kickoff celebration that will take place Saturday, June 27th from 5 to 9:30. And the fireworks will begin at 9 p.m. Finally, registration is now open for our fall athletics programs. The season's offerings include outdoor soccer, baseball, softball, cheerleading, football, volleyball, and cross country. We encourage families to register early and take advantage of another exciting season of recreational opportunities offered by the Town of Hope Mills Parks and Recreation Department. There are additional programs listed in the manager's report, so please look for a post on tomorrow on our social media page. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. Very comprehensive. Moving on to board member comments. Notice the time. I'll start with Commissioner Hamilton.
I just want to welcome everybody that came here today, those that are watching us online. The only thing I want to say is I was at the bike rodeo. It was a huge success. The kids had a blast out there. The police department were there on their bikes, showing them how to be, I guess, police officers on bikes. But it was a great event, lots of giveaways, and everybody enjoyed it. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Mitchell.
Good evening. Thanks for coming out.
Commissioner Marley.
For the sake of time, sir, I'm good.
All right. Commissioner Tremmel.
Good evening and welcome.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, and those that are streaming, and just wanted to highlight that the gun violence walk was absolutely amazing. It was impactful. If you did not attend, you do have an opportunity to attend first Saturday next year, June 2027. And I'm wearing purple today because it is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day today.
Thank you very much. I'm a New York Rangers fan, but I'm going to say go Canes. Better believe it. First time in, 20 years. It happened last night in Raleigh. Appreciate everybody that's staying the course with us. As I said in the 5:30 meeting, I'll continue to say, this has not been an easy process for us to work through this budget. We will continue on tonight, and we will continue on next Monday night, as we committed several weeks ago to working every Monday night this month until we adopt a budget, and that's what we shall do. Presentations, item A, proclamation recognizing Juneteenth under tab 1.
Town of Hope Mills, North Carolina, proclamation honoring the observance of Juneteenth 2026, whereas Juneteenth, observed annually on June 19th, is the oldest known national celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States, and whereas on June 19th, 1865, more than 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, Union forces arrived in Galveston, Texas, to enforce the freedom of all enslaved people, and whereas Cumberland County and the Sand Hills region possesses a deep, rich history shaped by the resilience, cultural leadership, and profound economic contributions of Black Americans, and whereas the town of Hope Mills recognizes that the fight for freedom, equity, and civic unity requires ongoing commitment, transparent leadership, and the proactive celebration of our diverse heritage, and whereas observing Juneteenth provides an invaluable opportunity for our community to come together at our local parks and neighborhoods to reflect on past triumphs, confront ongoing disparities, and renew our collective commitment to justice for every citizen.
Now therefore, I, Jesse Bellflowers, Mayor of the town of Hope Mills, along with the Hope Mills Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim June 19th, 2026 as Juneteenth Day in the town of Hope Mills. Be it further proclaimed that we call upon all residents of Hope Mills to honor this historic day by participating in regional reflections, supporting community events, and fostering an environment of inclusivity, mutual respect, and liberty for all, proclaimed this 15th day of June, 2026. Next item is proclamation celebrating the 250th anniversary of Independence Day, whereas on July 4th, 1776, the Second Continental Congress formally adopted the Declaration of Independence, establishing a new sovereign nation founded upon the self-evident truths that all individuals are created equal and endowed with unalienable rights to liberty, life, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas July 4th, 2026 marks the historic 250th anniversary of the United States of America, representing 2.5 centuries of democratic governance, enduring resilience, and an ongoing journey toward a more perfect union. And whereas the town of Hope Mills, embedded in the deeply patriotic Sand Hills region and home to the many veterans who, active duty service members and military families, take profound pride in honoring the brave individuals who fought for liberty and those who continue to defend our nation's freedom. And whereas Independence Day serves as a vital occasion to celebrate our shared American heritage, appreciate the cultural diversity that strengthens our municipal fabric, and reflect on our civic duty to proclaim democracy for future generations. Now, therefore, I, Jesse Bellflowers, Mayor of the town of Hope Mills, along with the Hope Mills Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim July 4th, 2026 as Independence Day in the town of Hope Mills. Be it further proclaimed that we urge all citizens of Hope Mills to join in festivities. Remember the sacrifices of our great nation and the nation's founders and defenders, and recommit to the core values of freedom, equity, and civil unity that define our community, proclaimed this 15th day of June, 2026. Next item is proclamation designation of July as Parks and Recreation Month.
Proclamation, designation of July as Parks and Recreation Month. Whereas parks and recreation programs are an integral part of communities throughout this country, including the town of Hope Mills. And whereas parks and recreation promote health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas parks and recreation promote time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas parks and recreation encourage physical activities by providing space for popular sports, hiking trails, swimming pools, and many other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. And whereas park and recreation programming and education activities such as out-of-school time programming, youth sports, and environmental education are critical to childhood development. And whereas parks and recreation are fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. And whereas our parks and natural recreation areas ensure the ecological beauty of our community and provide a place for children and adults to connect with nature and recreate outdoors. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month. And whereas Hope Mills recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources.
Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Hope Mills Board of Commissioners that July is recognized as Parks and Recreation Month in the town of Hope Mills, proclaimed this 15th day of June, 2026. Next item is D, recognition of North Carolina State Firefighters Association Scholarship Award recipient, Brian C. Gerber. There are no attachments. Chief, you got this? Are we presenting it?
Yes, sir. So, Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, Commissioners, before we get into the presentation, I'll just give a brief history of the North Carolina State Firefighters Association Scholarship. The program began in November of 1972 with the creation of the Jim Bailey Memorial Scholarship Fund. The first scholarship was awarded in 1975 in memory of the late Morrisville Fire Department chaplain, Herbert Garman. It was a 4-year scholarship that paid out $1,000 per year. Today, the North Carolina State Firefighters Association awards $240,000 in scholarships to North Carolina firefighters and graduating seniors of North Carolina firefighters. The state is divided into 3 regions: Western, Piedmont, and Eastern. Each region is awarded a total of 15 scholarships in 3 categories: associate, bachelor's, and master's degree scholarships. The association received 187 scholarship applications this year. 83 were from the Piedmont region. 40 of those were submitted for a volunteer or career scholarship. The education is the foundation of our future, and just want to take a moment to recognize the individual for their continued efforts and current achievements in education, as well as his years of dedication, professionalism, and service to help protect and serve the citizens of all Cumberland County. This individual is Firefighter Brian Gerber. Firefighter Gerber has a total of 24 years in the fire service since starting as a volunteer at Lake Rim Fire Department in 2003 at the age of 16. Firefighter Gerber started a career with Fayetteville City Fire Department in 2005, where he spent 12 years and promoted to the rank of Master Firefighter before joining the Fayetteville Police Department. Firefighter Gerber served 8 years with the Fayetteville Police Department, where he promoted to the rank of sergeant prior to leaving. During this time, Firefighter Gerber also spent 9 years with Cumberland County EMS as an EMT in the ambulance service. He also served on Task Force 9 USAR team with Fayetteville City Fire Department and developed the fire investigation program with Fayetteville Police Department in conjunction with the Fayetteville Fire Department's FIT team. Firefighter Gerber currently holds the following degrees in education: Bachelor's of Science, Criminal Justice; Associates of Applied Science, Criminal Justice; Associates of Applied Science, Fire Protection Technologies; Associates of Applied Science, Emergency Management; Associates of Applied Science, Public Safety Administration, Fire and Emergency Services; Associates of Applied Science, Public Safety Administration, Law Enforcement Services; and an Associates of Applied Science in General Education. So, if you want to come up and, as Chief of the Hope Mills Fire Department, and on behalf of the North Carolina State Firefighters Association, I'd like to call Brian up and present him with a scholarship in the amount of $8,000 for a Bachelor's of Applied Science in Fire and Emergency Service Administration. And if you come on up.
Item E is the Office of the State Auditor Update, Town Manager under tab 4.
I know we trying to cut things short. I will try to hurry through this, but this is something that's very important. This is the quality update on the Office of State Auditor Corrective Action Report. On April 24th, 2026, the Office of State Auditor published its investigative report regarding the town of Hope Mills. The objective of the audit was to assess the town's overall financial health while investigating several allegations that had been submitted to the Office of the State Auditor. The report evaluated a total of 23 allegations. Of those, 18 allegations were found to be unsubstantiated. Of the remaining allegations that were substantiated or partially substantiated, the Office of the State Auditor issued a total of 21 recommendations designed to strengthen the town's financial oversight, internal controls, and administrative processes. As part of the audit process, the town of Hope Mills submitted or was required to submit a comprehensive corrective action report addressing each of the 21 recommendations. Several of the corrective actions were actually prepared for the board for consideration at the time the audit report was released. Today's update provides a quarterly synopsis of the town's progress towards fulfilling the commitments outlined in our corrective action report. I am pleased to report that the town has now completed close to 80% of the corrective actions identified in the report. Significant accomplishments include the adoption of a comprehensive fund balance policy that limits the appropriation of fund balance to no more than 3% of the total annual operating budget. Implementation of provisions restricting the use of appropriated fund balance to one-time capital expenditures, helping preserve recurring revenues for recurring expenses. The development of a targeted multi-year strategy to restore unrestricted fund balance reserves impacted during the fiscal year 2025. Complete digitization of all personnel action forms or PAFs through the Dayforce system, including the addition of a fourth level of approvals in addition to HR through the finance department to strengthen internal controls. Elimination of charitable receipts through the town programs to improve financial accountability. Adoption of a comprehensive travel and training policy establishing clearer guidelines for employee travel and reimbursement. The adoption of a new procurement policy designed to enhance purchasing, transportation, competition, and compliance. Elimination of overtime compensation except where required for officially observed holidays. Continued updates of the town's personnel policy with additional revisions forthcoming soon for board consideration. In addition to completing the recommendations made by the Office of the State Auditor, our new finance director has proposed several enhancements that exceed the state's recommendations. These proposed financial best practices include providing financial reports to the board on a bi-monthly or quarterly basis to improve transparency and fiscal oversight, establishing additional internal financial controls to monitor and limit unnecessary or excessive expenditures, incorporating a dedicated 1% operating contingency within the annual budget while continuing the long-term replenishing of reserve funds to strengthen the town's financial position. I will note that this is actually in the proposed budget that we're looking at now. Implementation of a Hope Mills tip line, internal tip line that provides the general public with the ability to report allegations directly to the town. Hiring of an internal CPA to provide an additional layer of financial oversight to ensure that the town remains on track towards financial stability. The town of Hope Mills remains fully committed to completing each of the recommendations outlined by the Office of the State Auditor. While significant progress has already been made, our work continues as we strengthen our financial policies, enhance accountability, and position the town on an even stronger foundation of fiscal responsibility and long-term financial security. These improvements represent more than simply responding to an audit. They reflect our commitment to continuous improvement, responsible stewardship of public resources, and maintaining the trust and confidence of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. Thank you for that update. We'll continue doing this. We'll come back with another update in August when we return. Item 4, Mayor Pro Tem.
I thought you wanted me to read the public thingy. Okay. Motion to conduct a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3, attorney-client privilege, A5, land acquisition, and A6 personnel.
Have a motion, have a second? Have a second, all in favor? Seeing none opposed, we'll be right back as soon as we can.
I thought I was doing that.
Real quick. Should I read it?
Wait a minute, hold one minute.
Okay.
Yeah, none of these people are here.
None of these people are here. Who's the name on it?
It is, I think it's Jenny, Hickson.
Hickson, just,
Oh, yeah, she's number one. Okay, yeah, go ahead and read it.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, and staff, I have been doing the research on the proposed 5 to 6 cent raise on taxes. I have heard it said that only $25 a month, that may not present a problem for people who are healthy and can work to make up. However, what about the widows, retirees, and fixed income residents who own their homes they spend a lifetime paying for? While they may appear to have assets on paper, that does not mean they have extra money each month. A homeowner can still struggle to afford property taxes, homeowner insurance, utilities, medication, transportation, and necessary repairs. Many are house rich and cash poor, earning too much to qualify for assistance, but still facing difficult financial choices. These residents are not asking for special treatment. They are simply trying to remain in the homes they worked hard to afford. For them, an additional $25 or $35 per month can mean cutting back on groceries, delaying medical care, or postponing needed maintenance. I would like the board to consider residents who fall between qualifying for assistance and being financially comfortable. Is there a possibility that some of these residents get a discount due to age or financial hardship due to health or disabilities? It also needs a tax discount similar to what it's hard to read, the Comfort has. It would help take the burden of those who need it most. And she didn't sign it, but I know it's from her. Yeah, excuse me? It was her. Okay, yeah, so that's who I thought it was, because I know she wanted to talk. Okay. And no signature, and that's all there is. I'll just keep it and give it back to her next meeting.
Thank you. So this one is from Renee Williamson, and it reads by email, Friday, June 12th, 12 p.m. I am submitting this to be read at the next budget meeting. I would like to request that this message is read by the mayor or mayor pro tem. To the mayor, mayor pro tem, members of the board, town manager, and staff, let me begin by saying this plainly. It is very clear that as mayor, you are full of passion, truly the most passion I've ever seen displayed in this office. And because of that passion, I hope you will allow yourself to fully absorb and complete the message in this letter. Even if it is uncomfortable, passion means nothing if it cannot withstand accountability. As a resident of the town of Hope Mills, I am watching the town struggle financially while the very people who keep this town functioning, meaning staff, are expected to carry the weight. I can't sit here silently knowing that those very people are at risk. Employees rely on their pay and benefits to sustain their life. Their income is not symbolic, it is survival. And let me emphasize this clearly, cutting staff should not even be on the table. The employees are the one who keep this town running day after day. They are not the problem, and they should not be treated as a solution to budget issues created elsewhere. Yet somehow, despite the town being in the negative, the board continues to collect salaries as if the financial crisis does not apply to them. Let me be blunt. If the town is in the red, the board should not be in the green. The board should suspend its pay until the town is financially stable. Employees should not be forced to absorb the consequences of poor budgeting or delayed action or delayed decisions. Although the budget technically belongs to the board, the responsibility to manage it ethically and transparently belongs to leadership as a whole. And since we are being honest, the town cannot continue to operate on wishful thinking. A tax increase is not only reasonable, it is necessary. Hope Mills cannot sustain services, support staff, or maintain infrastructure without adequate revenue. A modest, responsible tax adjustment would benefit the town, protect essential services, and ensure employees are not the ones paying the price for leadership reluctance to act. Residents see what is happening. Staff is wondering what is going to happen. And leadership must finally acknowledge how the town is going to rebuild, recover, and regain stability and do so without cutting the very people who keep it alive. I requested that this be read directly by the mayor or mayor pro tem because the decisions ahead demand courage, not convenience. The town deserves leadership willing to do what is right and stand firmly behind its employees. The economy is already unforgiving. Costs are rising faster than wages, and finding a stable job is extremely hard. The last thing staff should fear is instability created by their own leaders.
Okay. I'd like to thank both folks that submitted the comments tonight. Apologize to the ones that were signed up on the roster to speak. We just went a little bit longer than we needed to. But next Monday night, there will be a section on the agenda for public comments. So even though it's a special meeting, it'll be a special budget meeting for the adoption, there will be a section for public comments next Monday. I would invite them to come back. Item 6, consent agenda, items A, B, C, D, and E. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Have a second? All in favor? Motion carries. Consent agenda A, B, C, D, and E are all approved. Under old business, sorry, that's the end of consent agenda. Under old business, none. New business. Item A, acceptance of Wynn O'Brien second quarter report under tab 7. Anybody have any discussion on this? Or any, if not? I have an action? Second. Have a motion, have a second. Any further discussion? None? All in favor? Seeing none none opposed? Next item, B, consideration and approval of budget amendment number 31 for asset forfeiture funds in the amount of $1,176 under tab 8.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion to approve, got a second? All in favor? We're on a roll, Chief. Stay right where you're at. Seeing none opposed, motion carries. Next item is D, consideration and renewal of the Stony Point Fire contract with the term of 1 year under tab 9. That's a standard. We're just renewing the contract. It's the same one as last year and the year before that and the year before that.
Motion to approve.
Second?
Motion to approve, got a second. All in favor? Seeing none opposed, that one carries. Now we're back to D. Discussion on FY 26-27 budget. That looks like the last item of tonight before adjournment. Brittany, we invite you back. We will pick up, and LaMarco's still here. We will pick up on Parks and Rec program events. That's where we left off. So, any questions or discussion about program events?
I may have some.
Okay, go ahead.
All the ones that we brought to everyone's attention, that were losing money, are they keeping them? Do you know what they're doing with them? The list that we had?
Yes, we're keeping them.
Okay, even though we're losing money? Or are we, you were gonna look that up, whether they were paid, whether the contractors were paid by the hour or just by the event? Because the one karate one, they were paying, the contractor was paid over $7,000 where they only made like $600.
So I sat down with LaMarco, the operations director?
Yes.
And so we went through, I think it might be the programs director too. So we went through and he was able to show me by instructor, by program, and they also showed me the report that you guys got to try to verify some of those revenues. Mm-hmm. So what I did was, and I didn't bring it with me, but I can send it out to the board. Okay. So what I did was I tallied all of the because I think what wasn't clear on that document is that some of those instructors have like 5-6 classes. So they offer more than just one, they offer more than one service to the town. What I'm struggling with now is trying to, like efficiently match the 55 plus, just because that's a special category. And Lamarco, I think currently in the revenues, it sits in the over 18. So trying to classify that was a little tough. But what I did see is that, overall, the program cost, was like maybe 45,000, and I'm just estimating. And the actual expenditures, for those 55 plus programs ended up being like 41. So was there a net loss? Yes. But as I've stated, a lot of these programs, and you can verify with any other city or town, they may need to be looked at to see if it's beneficial in regards to the community coming out and supporting it, but they're not a revenue generating area that's supposed to provide like its own department sustainability. They're not created for that.
Okay. Well,
And then another, I'm sorry, Commissioner Hamilton, because there's another thing. We are also looking at if all of those contracts do require a raise. So
Right.
we're looking at that too, to see if they can identify maybe some of the long-term instructors and if they're new or incoming contracts. But from what I see, a lot of the instructors have been here for quite some time. So Lamarco, if you wanted to add to that. So we're still looking at seeing if we can identify which contracts can get a raise versus ones that may be able to stay at their same rate.
I think my question was, why are contractors getting raises? They're not actual employees of the town. That was pretty much my basic question. I know you
So-
said to be competitive with Fayetteville.
That's
but-
basically what
but
it is.
Still, they're not employees, and that was my concern.
Well, a couple things with that. So, and that's what we looked at. We weren't offering raises, but some of the instructors that have been here quite some time, and it's not just Fayetteville. I mean, we could lose them to Crunch Fitness and some other places. And so that's just going to be, unfortunately, the unfortunate part. If we don't give them raises, then we are going to lose them. We are going to lose them as instructors, and then we're going to be at ground zero as far as trying to find an experienced instructor to teach the classes that some of the seniors are used to, the line dancing, Zumba, and some of the fitness classes. We have about 4 instructors that's been with us 13 years plus and haven't had a raise.
When you have one that's only making $20, I forget which one that was, and granted, there are, some of the contractors have multiple classes, but I think we were very specific about which class made the money and the amount.
Right, and in addition to that, we have begun, and even before that list came out, we were already looking at classes like some of the martial art classes that maybe have 4 people. We had already started saying we're going to look at those classes, and if they didn't meet the numbers, which is 30, that we were going to look at maybe not continuing. It's about 5 or 6 of those classes that we're looking
Told
at.
me that. But we were just basically looking at the revenue bringing in versus what the contractors were being paid, plus the raises. That was our concern.
Right. And I'll say it again. I think I said it last time around. But you're 55 plus, and if you're a Hope Mills resident, that's always been a benefit of being a Hope Mills resident and a senior. So those particular classes were never meant to be revenue generating. It was something that the town funded because the seniors had complained about not having enough offerings, and so we fixed that. So we went in that knowing that we had the budget for instructors, knowing there would not be a revenue generating program. The only time we did start realizing revenue is when the residents complained about outsiders coming in, and so that's when we started saying maybe we can equal things out by charging them a fee. And in some cases it worked, and then in other cases they said they're willing to pay the $5 a class to come and use our program. So that's the only reason why. Otherwise, these programs would not be generating revenue generating programs. The 55 plus,
Okay.
It's never been set up that way.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions about programs and events? No. All right, next section is athletic and field maintenance. And if you notice, there's a $5,000 reduction per the director. And then, of course, reduction in departmental supplies. couple minutes to look this over, and then we'll finish it up. Okay,
Contract services for, what is it, $110,000? Weren't you gonna give us a list of contracts to add to this? I mean, not specifically make line items, but a list of, a separate sheet of paper with contractors on it? Because we don't know
For-
what those contracts are.
For which account number are we looking at?
1270,
Are we still under athletics and
athletic
maintenance?
field maintenance.
622, 12.
Yeah, 622. Now, can I go back for a minute to the old mill day expense for $5,000? That's what I talked about before, but I had gotten the wrong one.
Are we still doing Old Mill Day?
We are, consistent, what we've been doing consistently for the last 2 years, whereas we didn't budget for my staff to actually run the event, we realized that the police foundations run the event.
Right.
The $5,000 was meant to supplement and, the police foundation, and to actually give them some funds to help them put that event on.
Okay.
That was the exchange for us not having to do it. It'd actually be more if my staff had to actually, put on the event. So that was the agreement.
Because I was under the impression that you had nothing to do with it at all, but,
No, we do, not only do we offer the $5,000, but then we also, have staff there.
okay.
Our staff our maintenance staff helps out with the setup. We have a booth there also.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
And Lamarco, I know so the next question was about the, maintenance and contract services where we're budgeted for, 110. We can pull something together for that.
I will tell you, the largest contract in that particular area is the contract we have with Mr. Ernest Fisher, and he's the agency that does our officiating, large contract.
So that's what it's for.
I wanna say 80% of that is what we pay him to provide us with, officials like referees and things of that nature for all of our athletics.
So that goes to him?
Yes, it's a contract.
Okay.
And yeah, it's hard to bid that out. Not too many people does what he does.
He's very, very exclusive in what he does.
Okay.
That's why he charges what he does.
Yeah, I guess so, $1,000 or $110,000.
I have a question, Mayor. I have a
Commissioner
question.
Dremel?
Just real quick, I know it was asked before, and I don't remember what the answer was, so just refresh my memory. Under department supplies, it went from 7,000 in the 25-26 budget to 35,000 this year.
Which, Parks
Departmental
Division?
supplies at 622, 6,500.
622?
Under athletic field maintenance, the department supplies 6500. It was 36, and has a $1,000 reduction to 35, but it went from 7,000 to 35,000. Just wondering what the big jump was.
Do you remember what that is, Lamar?
So in that particular line item,
Because it had to be a special request.
maintenance and athletics share that account. And so a lot of that has to do with the cost of materials. So not only, PPE comes out of that, some of their, safety equipment, also, cleaning materials, janitorial materials, all that come out of that same account. And, frankly, the cost of everything has gone up. And so we kind of looked at the trends of what we were spending, and we realized we wasn't budgeting enough. So that number reflects the actuals of what we're spending that account, and what we need to run that department. A shared division, if you will. Like I said, you got athletics and maintenance that use that particular, account for their materials.
Have they always shared it? I mean, it was 7,000 before.
They have.
So,
They have,
okay.
and we've gone over.
and you've gone over, okay, I gotcha. All right, thank you.
Okay, anything else? All right, Brittany, we're gonna talk about one.
Which one's that?
Gotta back up to it. 622-4012.
622, under what area?
That's the golf course. That's the golf course, and we'll come back to this one. All right, so, the discussion has been that the existing contract for this guy or whatever company was that was cutting out there has been terminated. So the options are, we either go with another contractor to cut that golf course, or we invest in equipment for ourselves. And the quote that Lamarco presented was $81,000 for a tractor and for a cutting attachment. The positive here is that in the budget, it's $21,000. If we make the investment to buy the tractor and the cutting attachment to go with it, it will pay for itself over a period of years, and it can be used anywhere in Hope Mills. Golf course, exit 41, Don, and anything. Nope, not exit 41? You don't want it out there? Okay. Too big? But nonetheless, Lamarco could use it, and he has the personnel that can operate it. So, how do we pay for it, Brittany?
How?
How do we do it?
I say that we sit it in the parking lot with these other ones that we're trying to add, and we'll have to figure out a way. I honestly.
So we're gonna pin 81,000 right there, right? Or
Well, I guess we'll do a difference, which is 61. Because they have, what, 21, what do you have? It's some, you said they have
oh yeah,
21 already in the budget, so parking 60, because that would be what we would do in addition to.
okay. So that's a 60 on a pin. All right. I think it's time that we cut it ourselves. We own it then. We own the cut. We know exactly how it's going to get cut instead of relying on someone else. And just like I said, I mean, can we, well, I'll tell you what, you can bring us back some financing options. Let's go that way. All right. So my tally sheet says, then we leave off at 68.
We got 68 in the.
Oh, yeah. Plus the 5. That's 73 plus 60. Yeah.
60 is the tractor, right?
Yeah, 60 for the tractor, yeah. So if we go to the last page, this is the key one. And Brittany, you sent out a really nice email. I'm just going to read it in the record. That each of the 3 proposals, and there's 3 of them, one of them is 3.5, which if we choose that one, then we still have to look for $206,737,000. If we go with the 3, no, sorry, 4. If we go with the 4, that is a straight balanced. If we go with a 4.5, that will put $19,973 extra. So the 4 is the one that came in as a balanced without the pins. Here's what's in the 4. Each one of these budgets include the 3.5, the 4, and the 4.5. It includes a 2.5% COLA. It includes a 1% contingency, which is $225. It will completely pay for 5 police officers throughout the year, fund all 5. It will fund a firefighter position throughout the year. It will include $30,000 for our consultant contract. It will pay for the power bill salaries moved back to general fund. And it pays for a $25,000 match for a Safe Streets grant. This is what's in each of the 3. 3.5, the 4, and the 4.5. So, the board needs to make a decision tonight on which one of these three that we're gonna go with. So Brittany will come back Monday night, January 22nd, with the proposed budget for adoption. Commissioner Marley?
Does that include what we just added tonight, the roughly 130?
It does not.
So if we were talking about 4 cents at the beginning of the night, we just added another roughly half cent of tax. So my recommendation would be 4.5.
Got a motion?
How much would that be a year for $300,000 house?
I don't have my present, let me grab my, let me,
I don't know if I got my, hang on.
Trying to remember.
Let me see.
And that was based on what we added tonight.
I don't have a 4.5.
So we didn't have 4.5, but we had the 4
I
and
had
5.
I had a 4.
I did half cents on that last presentation, that I prepared, and let me see if this is it. I think it might be. Okay, so let me see, this is it.
The 4 cent was roughly 120 a year.
Yeah, so 4 cent,
$10 a month was 4 cents.
$10 a month, so that'd be 11 point something.
yeah, so are we talking about the impact on the household or the impact on the? Okay, okay. So 4.5 cent we see brings in $9.45, and 4.5 cent for the average household is $13. $13 a month, estimated to be $157 per year.
That's not bad.
That's what you have.
Is that what you had?
That's pretty good. That sounds okay to me.
I mean, I'll put that in the form of a motion if I need to, but my recommendation, based on the 130 that we added back in, to the budget that they proposed tonight, that had the 4 cent in it, to cover that 130, I'd do the extra half cent and do 4.5.
Okay,
Second that.
I have a motion that the property tax rate for FY 26-27 will be 4.5 cents. I have a second. Any further discussion? The 4.5 will include everything we just added, which was the police contracts, the 5,000 for the VFW. What else? Then we have one, oh yeah, and the mower.
Tractor.
The tractor.
And the tractor.
And the tractor. And of course, 2.5 COLA, 1% contingency, police officers, 5 police officers, 1 firefighter, 30 in the consultant, power bill moved back, and 20,000 match for the Safe Streets grant.
And give us 19,000.
Sounds good. That's what, 30 grand?
Then we took that money for the grant writer.
For the grant writer.
That's right, yeah.
We took that money for the grant writer.
But why not if we cut the VFW to cut that in half or make it to 2,500?
I mean, if you're gonna do a 4.5 cent, I mean, it's gonna cover all of it.
It's covered all anyway. Okay.
You might as well just leave it there. Now you're just talking about pennies.
All right. All right. We done enough. All right, we good. So any more discussion, I guess?
I'm gonna say something, Brittany, that if the consensus of the board is to raise the property tax, 4.5 cents, I'll request not to receive a COLA next year in my salary.
I can do that.
I do the
Brittany, I
same.
want to request the same thing, please.
I'll do that. we all in consensus with that, right?
I don't want it either.
I'm gonna call for the vote. All in favor? That's unanimous. Brittany, please bring us back a balanced operating budget for next year with the 4.5 property cent tax increase. So next Monday, we plan on adopting that budget. There'll be a couple agenda items that Ashley is gonna put on there, and whatever else we gotta clean up. Will be on a special meeting agenda, but there will be a public comments period. That will be the first thing before the adoption, where people can come and have their voice heard before final adoption of this budget.
What time are we eating again?
It's at 7 next Monday night.
Okay.
7. All right, anything else?
Yes, sir.
Last part is reminders. If there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second?
We are adjourned until Monday night. Phones will start ringing.